Okay, what's going on, everybody? It is great to see you all. I see that there are a couple of people in chat getting things started. Hopefully you are all having a very good Friday. We are super excited to play some Varia tonight. This is a really cool opportunity for us to play a brand new game. This is something that we've not really done yet on this channel. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So, first things first, for those who may not know who we are, what's going on, everybody? This is Joe.
And Amy.
And as I said, we are here playing some Varia today. It is on Tabletopia. We are playing with our good friend Dave over at DAM314. We will bring him in very shortly. This stream, if you are on the VOD or if you are live, either way, this stream is all about learning a new game. So we have been playing, we played a couple of practice games yesterday, but we are definitely not going to be perfect. We are trying our best. And so if we have to have some corrections in terms of our play, that is totally fine. And if you have any questions at all, that is what the chat is for. Definitely feel free to bring that up in the chat. Or again, if you're watching on the VOD, bring that up in your in the comment section down below, and we will hopefully be able to be back to you. What is going on, Vladdy? I did not see any info on secret layer drops today. Unfortunately, we are pretty focused on this at the moment. I will get back into more Twittery things probably this weekend, where I will see more info about secret layer stuff. But I'm super excited. We were originally gifted Varia decks in the past. We were gifted all 7 of the original starter decks for this game, and so this opportunity today is not officially sponsored by Varia and by Guildhouse Games, but it is something that we were looking forward to getting into, because when Amy and I did the review of those cards, it was one of the first things that we then wanted to do was actually try to play the game, because the cards were cool and everything, but you're not really getting to get the full experience until you actually get to sit down at a table and play it. So that was really, really cool. So that is going to be awesome. I am looking forward to this today. As I said, we are here with our friend Dave, twitch.tv/DAM314. If you want his side of things, or if you want to check him out after we get to start hearing him today. I know he is doing his little intros as well, but I'm kind of itching to get into this. So I am going to go into Discord. Amy, do you have anything else to say before we get started with Dave?
Nope, I guess not.
Okay. Well, hey, this is really cool. So we are playing as the Barbarian, and Dave is playing as the Shadow Assassin. So let's get into Discord here and get into unmuting and undeafening ourselves. Dave is still muted and deafened, which is totally fine. But when he gets here, we will get started. This is, I'm looking forward to this a lot. Like I said, anybody that has any questions on the game, always more than welcome to ask. We will do our best with our, limited-ish knowledge of the game. There is also a little rules tab down here. So if we do have to get into the nitty-gritty and reference the rules, we'll do that, because we're not too proud. I just, it's a new game. So for us to take the time and actually look over it, it's important to make sure that we're doing things as best we can. And if we mess up, if we're corrected, great. If we're not, the mess-ups will stand and we'll just learn for the future. That's just kind of how it goes. We're not going to go crazy with let's back up 50 million times or whatever. We're going to do our absolute best. Until Dave gets here, if people want to take a second, if they know nothing about Varia, and read the turn structure of the game, this is what you will be looking at as we play our turns. We will hopefully be able to go through and go step by step in terms of what we're doing and how. But if we forget something, if you want a gentle reminder for us, that's great. If you have any questions, as I said, I'm probably going to say that a million more times. I apologize. I just want everybody to be able to feel free. So I will say, when we played last night, which was really fun when we did our practice, I'm pretty sure we are even, if you recall, Amy, because Dave won the first game.
Yes.
We won the second game, and then we drew in the third game.
Yep.
So while this is...
We both got to exactly 0
in
the third game.
Yeah. So while we
at the same time.
Yeah. Dave killed us while we killed him in response. It was hilarious. That's we both fell to the way of the blade, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will.
What's going on, Joe?
Hey, what's going on?
I did my incentives where if anyone kickstarts the Kickstarter, I will eat one of the spicy foods.
Nice.
So that includes you guys, by the way. I don't know why. Vladdy, thank you very much for the 100 bits. Let me just duck underneath the. Thank you very much for the 100 bits. Cheers. That's awesome. We'll do the same thing. X amount of subs and bits, and I'll do them as well. But so this is Tabletopia. Now, full disclosure, we watched some of the folks from Tabletopia and from Guildhouse Gaming play together. And then we hopped in and played. I don't know much about Tabletopia, but it is something that I'm now aware of, and I'm definitely going to be looking a lot into to play a lot of tabletop games with my friends. But yeah.
Yeah, if you can tell in the top right and bottom left, we both decided to make our make a little accounts for ourselves in the game. So, you know, it's definitely something that we can come back to with other games or for more Varia in the future, etc. So,
which I'm definitely going to play more Varia. And I'm not just saying that because, like, oh, it's the Varia stream, but, like, seriously, like...
Yeah, and...
I saw the Kickstarter last night. I was kind of glued to the website looking at the decks, trying to find some card galleries to see what other decks or strategies I could brew up. That's awesome, Raven. Definitely let us know what strats you come up with, because I would love to tweak the assassin to fit more my ignorant playstyle.
Actually, and it's funny, I was mentioning earlier for us how, you know, we're looking at this as an exhibition game, so it's a lot more open, a lot more discussion in terms of like, oh, what strategy are you thinking of? What strategy are we thinking of? Because we just want to show off the game as much as possible. But I did appreciate Guildhouse Games throwing down the and Varia throwing down the challenge and saying, you know, who's going to win? Their vote was for the Shadow Assassin, so thanks a lot, Guildhouse. Really appreciate that.
The good news is, Guildhouse, you didn't realize that Joe was playing the Barbarian, and so, yeah. If you've watched any of youtube.com/geekforalls videos where it's Joe versus Dave, you ever watched a video where Tyson fights? It's that. However, my secret weapon is anytime Amy and I team up, we usually do things in such a parallel way to Joe that Joe tries to use them brands and gets confused, and then Amy and I win.
That's fair. Yeah. I will say, I mentioned
Our
earlier,
brand
though,
of chaos is just enough to get us through.
I mentioned earlier before we both came on together, I mentioned how when we did our practice yesterday, you won the first game, we won the second game, and then in the third game we drew. So this is truly the rubber match tonight.
I'm curious to see how chat reacts to the fact that we had a draw. I'm really looking forward to like everyone simultaneously like having the spit take moment where they're like,
yeah. Well, and again, the interesting thing is, I said we both fell literally and figuratively to the way of the blade. So,
I will say I'm a very big fan of Tabletopia, in the fact that like, think of how many different games we play that involve having. I mean, for God's sakes, Joe, what other games do we ever play that uses a D4?
Oh, I can't imagine. Only, you know, D&D of all things. And then, I mean, hey, I've used a D4 for Magic the Gathering all the time. It's just, you know, I could use it as a counter for things. And so I actually really appreciate one of the things that this does. And again, it was the kind of thing where it was like, oh, it's intuitive because you can roll when you pick it up, but you can also set it to a particular number, which I appreciated because we use that as counters or tokens or whatever as I tend to do and I'm used to doing in Magic and stuff. So
yeah, how do I roll it by? There's no like flick of the wrist roll.
That would be cool, but no, I don't think so.
I mean, it's probably a good idea because this is what usually winds up happening, which is just whee! Oh god, it bounced back for once. Not gonna lie, after we drew last night while we were playing, I may or may not have just taken their entire deck and thrown it off the table. And I'm like, who's gonna win now?
So I was mentioning earlier, for anybody that is in either chat, either ours at here at Geek for All or Dave's over at DAM314 on Twitch, either way, if anything comes up and you have a question, this is a brand new game. We're not perfect at answering them, but we will do our absolute best. And if there are people lurking in chat who may know the rules, they are obviously more than welcome to jump in as well. But we will do our best to answer any questions. I know Amy, I will look occasionally, but Amy is checking both of the chats as well. So, you know, the best that we can do to answer them, we will do that for all of you. Dave, what I did while we were waiting for you earlier was I opened up the turn structure on the side here, just to show everybody a little brief look at what that's going to look like for the game. And then, you know, we can kind of...
You did the good host thing and we're like, here's the game we're playing, where I was like, store moving, very tired. Like...
Yeah, so I mean, whenever you're ready, I think we can get started.
Let me just pop open on the Varia homepage the card rules, just so I can have those to quick scan through.
No problem. I mean, again, I was saying I'll pull up the one over here on the side as well, in the bottom left.
All right. So other than God, Start 9 Riots took the words out of my mouth. I hope we do have tournaments of this once gatherings are allowed again. Because Joe, do you wanna give an overview? Ooh, Anti-Claus Prime conjuring up an old school joke, and Amy and Joe will appreciate this. There are not dolphins in this game yet.
No, nor whales, to be fair. So.
And Anti-Claus, it's nice to see you here. Sorry you gotta go. Appreciate you.
Yeah. No whales either. No whales, not this time. Actually, to answer Vlad's question,
I'm very glad, and kudos to everyone at Guild House Games, because none of the cards say the words dolphin on them and then have creature type whale. Okay, it's just, you know, I need it to be. Start 9 Riots. Thank you very much for jumping for Vladdy. Definitely Volcanic Warrior, either Assassin or Paladin. Ooh. Yeah, Raven saying whatever playstyle resonates with you. Good night, Auntie.
Yeah, I'm looking here at the starter decks that we have and looking at the deck difficulties that are listed. And in terms of the lower end of difficulty, yes, I will echo. The Volcanic Warrior is listed as the lowest, followed by Paladin, and then third would be Mage, Cosmic Mage, Shadow Assassin, or Death Pirate. So
I definitely know on the Kickstarter I'm getting myself the Bard and the Druid, just because those are two characters in other games that I wind up playing a lot of, so I'll have more of a good feels.
Yeah, which, by the way, that Kickstarter is officially fully funded. There are stretch goals with unlockables and things like that for that. So congrats to them. That's really, really awesome. I am looking forward...
And thank you, Insane Games TV, for providing that link in the chat.
Yeah, and so I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on those 7 new class decks, which doubles the number of class decks that the game has. But I really appreciated personally the fact that the game started with 7 class decks, and then that they put forth, that the creators put forth with their own money, before then using Kickstarter to then make 7 more, which I think is really great. I appreciated that.
Well, Raven, that's very funny, but I think the good thing about Varia is they've made these decks to be compatible and comparable with one another, so you don't have to worry that there's going to be one deck that's particularly terrible and one deck that's amazing. They were designed to have balanced fights against one another.
Oh, yeah. So, Dave, do we want to get into how we start the game and all that fun stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Very good. So, yeah, the main way... Well, actually, let's remember, because we messed this up last night, let's shuffle our decks. How's that sound?
Oh! Wait a minute. If we don't shuffle, though, there was like a 1 in 3 chance that I just win. What if we didn't shuffle? How many times did you shuffle?
I just shuffled 4 times, just sitting here absent-mindedly doing it.
Chat, what do you think? Should I shuffle 2 times, 3 times, 6 times?
Oh my god.
Say more than 10, though. I'm gonna round it down to 10.
Yeah, starting on riots, I agree. That bard with the plug-in for like the amp plug-in or the guitar plug-in for its face, for its mouth hole, or where its mouth would go, is absolutely incredible. So I think that's hilarious.
I'm gonna borrow one of these. And look over there. You can have one of these too.
Oh, thanks. I will never use these. Okay.
How dares.
So we can determine who goes first before we even draw our hands, if you'd like.
Sure.
So we're obviously, if you don't get what I'm doing here, we're doing that by the roll of a d6. A 3 versus a 1. All right, Dave, you get to go first.
This is the first time we didn't tie.
Yeah, we
didn't do my arbitrary system.
All right, it's time to draw our opening hand of 6 cards.
Joe, because you are a more articulate individual, would you mind going over the turn structure?
I will do my absolute best, sure. So, do you have it open in front of you?
I do now.
Okay, so for both chats now, since you can see it in front of you, at the start of any of our turns except the first turn, we would draw each 2 cards and then regain spent action points, which we'll get to in a moment. Then we choose movement. This was something that Ant, one of the creators of the game, mentioned was something that he really appreciated as like a new thing that he brought forth for this game. Because if you're fighting, you're not just going to walk up to somebody, stand a foot away from them, and just start throwing haymakers nonstop. There's movement involved. You'll back up. They'll back up. You'll move towards them, etc. So there is an element of movement to the game, whether it is you are engaging with your opponent or disengaging from your opponent. So you'll see things like backflips or explosive charges to bring yourself backwards or forwards, respectively. Then we're going to take our actions. The active player is going to choose their moments, and you'll see what that looks like. That basically is the V, A, R, I, and A, and it can be any or as many of those or as little of those as you are willing as the active player. The cool...
You can play them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's where the action points come in. But then we have the reactive player. So basically, as the active player, you get to choose how many moments you create, aka how many of the Varia letters you get to use. And if you use one of them, they only get to the reactive player only gets to react to one moment. But if you use all 5, they get to react to as many or as few of those as they wish. But the active player gets to dictate how that goes. Then there are fast actions. So the active player gets to react, I guess, again. It's not the exact wording, but gets to act again in response to the reaction that the opponent played. And then the opponent or the reactive player gets to have a fast reaction. And technically, those can go back and forth, the steps 5 and 6, until both players are satisfied and have passed. Then we get to the resolution where the moments actually resolve. You pay for your cards that are on the table in that moment. You start the moment, and so any start of moment abilities go off. The cards clash against one another, so that's where you'll see fighting or blocking or dodging. And then the moment will end, and so anything that matters for the end of the moment, that happens. And then at the end of the turn, you swap roles. The active player becomes the reactive player, and the reactive player becomes the active player. And then you start all over again back at step 1. So,
Joe, I want to just touch on something. So you're telling me that even though we're playing a card game, unlike other TCGs, I'm not just having your turn happen to me. I'm actually getting to actively respond in the same turn.
Correct, and you're getting to see almost our entire strategy up front and responding to it in that way.
I also really like the fast action, reaction ads, so that it's one of those like legitimately in, and I think Ant said this during the stream that we watched, but like it's that idea of instead of it being, overlording, it's literally one-on-one combat, and so you're responding to directly what's happening in front of you as it's happening, as opposed to just letting things happen to you and then hoping you can respond.
Exactly.
Like, I really also agreeing with Start 9. A lot of things everyone's saying in chat, by the way, and thank you guys. But Start 9 Riots, the distance mechanic, I really like it. I'm not good at it. But
it's definitely very unique. It's something cool to play with. Yeah. So I was just gonna say. So why don't we get started with our first turn and see what this looks like? So we start again. This will be the only part that's different, where we draw 6 cards for our first turn.
Yeah.
And then obviously 2
6 cards. Each card, by the way, guys, looking at it, we will, if you have questions about the cards, we'll explain what we're playing as we play them. But the really cool thing is, so for example, I'll pull up on mine one of the cards I am going to play. So you've got a lot of information on the card, but fortunately, it's actually really explanatory once you have an understanding of the mechanics. So I'm choosing a physical attack. The attack type is stealth, which, because of the way these 2 decks are made, that type doesn't really affect the gameplay yet. But I'm assuming as we play more complicated games and things, those attack types will come into play. You've got the icons on the top left of the card, and then the pictures of that look familiarly like the D6s and the D4s. Which, if you're pointing that out, you are exactly right. When you play these cards, this is how many D6s and how many D4s you're using. So you get 1 D6 and 1 D4, and we'll explain what those do later. But they get a modifier of +3 when I play this card. And am I doing a bad job of explaining this, Joe?
I don't think so. No. Yeah, I think you're doing well.
All right. I just want to make sure that you're not sitting there going like, please stop.
Not at all.
What's going on, Alec? Thank you very much for popping in. And the left side, by the way, is the cost, as we were talking about before.
Up here.
On the action points, each turn you get 10 to spend, and so I am going to play my turn, which is I'm gonna do 2 actions, 2 moments, 2 subtle strikes. So that's costing me 6, which is leaving me up 4 points to potentially respond to how Geek for All responds to my play.
Right, when it comes to the fast action step later.
Yeah.
So, notably what Dave has done, he dropped a subtle strike, which has 3 power, which is what the D6 or the square in the top right-hand corner represents, and 3, and the focus is in the upside-down triangle or the D4. And so that's the power and the focus are what those are called. And so the way that would be read in Varia is subtle strike is power of 3 plus a D6 and focus of 3 plus a D4. But it says actions with power greater than this action cannot be planned to clash with it. So in our hand, we have a card that has 4 power and 4 plus a D6 and 4 plus a D4 for power and focus. So we would not be able to play that card against either of the subtle strikes based on what they say in terms of what they do.
And Alec, yeah, the art is fantastic, and we did a video on that when we were originally gifted those original 7 decks on Geek for All.
So good.
So I already technically committed a rules infraction.
Oh yes, okay, fair point.
Oh, let me just. I am starting my movement as engaged.
Okay, that makes sense, but thank you for, yes, before playing the cards would be when we say that.
Place my cards, so just so you know, on the table itself, you know, disengaged is further back, engaged is closer, but just like many other trading card games, you declare it so that you know what what moments you're building, so that you're not finger painting a Picasso one piece at a time.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's again, it's just the turn structure of, you know, part 1, part 2, etc. So yeah, we skipped part 2 and went to 3. We did that many times last night. That's not a Dave specific thing. Don't you worry.
So I lost that Taco Bell bet with Steve, but apparently Nightwing has put a heavy bet down on the fact that, Joe, you will continue your dominance in TCGs.
Well, I'm gonna try something sneaky, but I guess I'll converse with Amy first. Do you think we should try this for this moment in the beginning? Sorry, I'll make it a little bit bigger so everyone can see, not just Amy and I.
By the way, Nightwing, thank you very much for the go live. I love it, and I love the art for Varia you chose for that one. Yeah. Sharing that on the Instagrammers.
Okay, so I'm gonna try this. And so this will show off a bit of the movement. So Dave mentioned that he was going to start engaged so that he can use physical attacks. So we are going to attempt, as our only response in our reactive phase, to play this.
Oh, no.
So just to let everybody know, the little symbol with the hourglass with the sand in the top means start of moment. This thing that's next to it will occur. If the sand were in the bottom, it would be that at the end of the moment, that thing would occur.
Sorry. Look at stuff. Things are happening.
Okay. I guess Nightwing was right. You definitely are cheating.
It's not cheating if no one calls you on it.
Luckily, I'm here.
I was going to say, Amy did just call you on it.
You know what? I'll say it. I'll start it. Exactly. Start 9 riots. I'm very glad that you spotted that in my hand as well. So is that your only play you've got?
Yes. Sorry. That is our only play in the reaction phase, step 4. So we move to step 5, the fast action phase.
All right. So by the way, I know Start 9 Riots and Raven have played this game. But this particular card is one that I'm definitely going to play so I can play it in this phase because it has the word fast on it, the flavor text of fast. And then it is also a ranged card.
Yeah. Okay. So what Aimed Edge says is that it's going to make that attack ranged. So it says this action will still hit your target if you are disengaged from them. So even though Dave will start engaged, we will disengage at the start of the moment with our backflip. Dave has made his attack range, so it would still be able to hit us. So the best thing that we can do, which is not ideal, but it is the best option that we have, is I can drop this fast. So I apologize. We'll do things appropriately. Dave, is that the only thing that you're playing in your fast action phase?
Yes.
Okay. So then in our fast reaction phase, we can drop this swift escape. And so what that means is, remember what I said about the hourglass? If the sand is in the bottom, that is at the end of the moment. So at the end of moment 1, we will disengage. So unfortunately, there is nothing more that I can do to stop Dave's first attack in moment 1. But if I disengage at the end of the moment...
Yeah, so for those of you that are
fight choreography, I'm going to attack, and then after I attack, they're going to move away as I try to swing again, which basically them playing that moot makes my second moment here of subtle strike moot.
So those of you who don't understand how to play the game already, so the V of Varia is moment 1. and the A of Varia is moment 2. So each of these individual rectangles represent each individual moment that's occurring.
Yeah, and actually, I only just realized, I only just realized, and again, we're learning the game, I did not technically have to play this Swift Escape at all. I only just realized that now, but because, so your aimed edge was not you re-engaging, it was you putting ranged on that.
Correct.
Yep.
So our backflip would still disengage us, and we would have stayed disengaged throughout the rest of moment 1 and into moment 2. So I didn't actually have to play this Swift Escape to disengage us again. We would have already...
we were already disengaged.
Yeah. So that's my mistake. That is totally fine. It doesn't do much more than, we lose that card for not a lot of reason, but that happens. It is a learning experience, and it basically, we just did a duplicate effect. So
yeah, it's
my
just
bad.
irrelevant.
Some extra dice to roll.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true too. That's a good point. So I can try to make you miss even more by adding, because now our focus on our backflip in moment 1 is now 7 plus 2d4. And so we didn't make Dave miss in terms of distance, because the aimed edge allows him to hit us with a ranged attack, but the focus roll determines whether he hits or not. And so if his focus roll with the d4s does not meet or exceed ours, he will not hit us, so he would still miss anyway.
Yeah, and here, because we added this second card, we're getting a second focus die, and we will get a second power die as well, if we are actually doing that.
Yeah, should that step have to come up, which
right.
we hope it doesn't.
But so we're wasting the card because we're wasting the effect, because we already had disengage, but we technically, using that second card does benefit us technically in our roll.
Correct. So now that sorry, Dave, this is our only fast reaction. Do you have any fast actions in response?
No.
Okay, and we also have no fast reactions in response, which means we are allowed to move to step 7, the resolution. So each moment resolves, so we are in moment 1 first, and we do it one by one in terms of the moments and how they resolve. So in moment 1, we focus on payment. Dave, you're...
6.
Yes, so 6 points for Dave to pay, and we pay 7 and go down to 3.
These 3 pips here, and these 3 pips here, and then their 7 came from this card backflip, which is a really cool move. And Joe doing a backflip is a sight I would love to behold.
Good God, no!
Not me.
And then
I don't want to have to screw his bones back together with a drill of some kind.
Yeah. So now we can, after payment has been done, we move to start of moment actions. So as we indicated, we start engaged, as Dave correctly pointed out in part 2 of the turn for movement. But at the start of the moment, thanks to our backflip, we will disengage and move away from our target. And then no other start of moment actions will occur. And so now we move on to the clash, which is the action step that you were expecting. And so what we do first is we try to see if Dave can hit us. So we each roll our focus dice.
Yeah, start 9 riots. All the flavor text is good.
Amazing.
The creators of this game, one of them was a flavor text writer for Magic the Gathering. So the flavor text on all of these cards are, is one of the very important things to the creators of the game.
Correct. So, Dave, for your focus roll, you had 6 plus 2d4, and we had 7 plus 2d4. So your total was 8, and our total was 13. And so, since we do the focus rolls first, Dave misses
That was a warm-up turn.
Also, to note, that was only moment 1, but we are going into moment 2 then, since moment 1, Dave's attack missed, and we were only using a block. So, going into moment 2, Dave only has a subtle strike, but it is a physical attack, and we have put nothing on the other side, which would seem like not a smart move, but as I indicated earlier, we are currently disengaged, which means physical attacks due to distance automatically miss, and so Dave's attack will automatically miss for that moment, so that moment is also over, although, notably, paying the cost still has to happen, so Dave would go down to 1 action point, but now the turn is over.
Kickstarter says no ramp.
So we can move our cards into our discard pile at the end of the turn and go back up to our full action point total of 10 for the start of turn 2 and draw 2 more cards at the start of the turn as step 1 of the turn structure indicates.
Sorry, my computer just chugged and I want to make sure that everything's okay.
No problem. We will wait to draw our cards until you do, so that we're all at the same point in the game.
All right. Looks like everything's fine. It just wanted my attention really bad.
Pay attention to me now, Dave.
Whee!
All right, so we draw 2 cards.
So,
interesting.
I don't know who you paid on Tabletopia, but the fact that they dealt me a foot, not a hand.
So now we are the active player. So we can go ahead and look at what we might want to do. Amy, what do you think about this for this time?
That's what I was thinking.
Well, you're very smart, so we're definitely doing that then. So how many do we want to do? All? Yeah, actually we do. So again, this is an exhibition game. We can just talk about stuff because I don't mind as much. This isn't super hyper competitive. We are going to play this. It's a flurry of fists. And what it says is when we plan this action, we can create a token that is a copy of it in the next available moment, and we may repeat this any number of times. And there are up to 5 moments, and with 10 action points, and 5 moments in a turn, and each flurry of fists costing 2, we're going to play them all out. Just like that.
I'm waiting to see chat's reaction to this play.
So, now notably, chat may notice, in fact, as Amy is waiting for all of your replies of, Joe, you madman, what about your fast actions? Well, if I don't have any fast actions in my hand, then it would make sense to play out cards that
sure does
that bleed out all of my action points. But also, if for whatever reason I had a fast action and Dave played something that required me to use it, I could still play it. Because don't forget, payment doesn't happen until step 7 for the resolution. So if I lost my last flurry of fists, because I couldn't pay for it because I didn't have enough action points, that may be worth it to me in order to play a fast action of some kind to save myself in an earlier turn where Dave is going to be doing something, debilitating against us, for example.
Yeah, and at some point we'll actually show you guys, because I assume at some point we'll do it, what happens when you kind of go over your 10 points there.
Right.
All right, so I'm looking at my Alex, right? Armor is for people that get hit.
So as Dave is looking through his cards, I will say the other cool thing about Flurry of Fists is because they cost so little in terms of their action point costs, it will likely be, and this was kind of our hope, obviously, their costs being so low means it will probably be difficult for Dave to answer all 5 of these moves from us. So even if he answers a couple of them...
Wait.
Okay, waiting.
That is not the action I wanted to play. I wanted to play... Swap. And I'm gonna...
I love what Alex said there. Armor is for people who get hit.
It's a flavor text. That's not
that's
this
what's
one.
on that.
Which one?
Potentially hedge my bets here on the fact that you very nicely in the exhibition game mentioned like, oh, but I can modify it later. That I'm not just going to backflip once and then go, ha ha ha.
And interestingly, right, this was what Ant did in his game as well to showcase the movement mechanic. Because, again, I made the same mistake Dave did. We would obviously have wanted to start in the movement portion to say that we start engaged, but I did not say that because I am the worst. But we will get it. You know what? I only did it to make Dave feel better that he forgot earlier. That's all.
I think we can kind of assume that we're starting engaged unless we say we're starting disengaged.
That's a fair point.
You're pummeling. It would be a little bit hard unless you had like a 30-foot pole to be like, dun, dun, dun. Like
yes. So
Dark Knight Riots in chat, by the way, said something that we absolutely said earlier. Remember how many times you tried to decapitate me yesterday?
Oh yeah, and
every time I somehow managed to dodge just right under that.
Absolutely, it was very frustrating.
I want to see turn one decapitate happen in a tournament. That would be mwah.
Right. Yeah. So unfortunately, as I stated, I did not fabricate my statement. So, Dave, I apologize. Is that the end of your reaction?
Yes.
Okay. So we move to our fast action phase, where we have, as I pointed out, not a single other fast card in our hand. So we have nothing to play for our fast action. Oh, this is our discard pile. Silly me. So, Dave, do you have anything in your fast reaction phase?
I mean, no. If I'm disengaging, then no.
Okay, that makes perfect sense because as we go to resolution and we go to pay for things in moment 1, Dave would pay 4, we would pay 2, so we go down to 8. But then, as we attempted to do in the first round and failed to do, Dave disengages, and then all of our flurry of fists hit nothing as he backflips away from us as we flail our arms wildly into the air in front of us just to let it know how we feel about it.
Like so many people on the playground.
Yeah.
No volcanic charge feels bad, man.
I know. It sure does. It sure does. Like I said, no fast actions in our hand.
That's what I was expecting Joe was going to play, because yesterday, every time I was like, I backflip away.
Explosive charge would be very good here if we had one. But we don't.
By the by, I did drop in my chat the Kickstarter for the next upcoming Varia decks. And if you kickstart them tonight, I will eat the spiciest of beans per kickstart. What's going on, Sustain It? Thank you so much for the raid, duder.
Nice.
Welcome to the world of Varia. Friday.
So, as I mentioned...
From that, by the way, because I really like that.
As I mentioned, due to Dave's blocks, we do not hit. So that is the end of our turn. Like, we could go through each other moment and say, like, well, we pay here and then we don't hit, and we pay here and then we don't hit. But that's the end of our turn. So...
The understanding is that you're standing over there going, oh, it's like, all right, Krillin, thank you.
Oh, do we not? Come on, you. There we go.
As we're, again, Tabletopia's mechanics are new to us, so we are having a bit of a time with them sometimes.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they work really well, considering the fact that Joe and Amy are not anywhere near me as a person, and we're playing a one-on-one engaged cart TCG. Like, I could not ask for more.
Yeah. We've drawn our 2 cards. I'm actually very happy for people watching us that we drew this one in particular. This is very good against Dave.
Ooh, Sustaina saying stream was fun. Played Phasmophobia, then another game after that, and added spiders to the mix. Called it a night. All right, I am going to. Oh my god, I wind up doing this every single game we play, but I'm going to start disengaged.
Okay.
And
there it is.
I start disengaged. There it is.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
No! We shuffled this time,
So legitimately so first of all, Dave,
we all know you didn't actually shuffle, Dave.
I certainly did, because I would have had those 2 turns.
So I will say, first of all, that's the end of your action phase, I assume?
Yeah, because otherwise I'm playing with meta information.
Okay, so
third close range attack, even though I'm definitely disengaged.
So I will say, at the start of our turn, I mentioned, hey, I was super happy that we drew this card. That would be this one, the bane of Dave's existence. Because it says if we engage, by the way, and if our target's action is magical, this action gets +3/+3 until end of moment, and that would be +3 to the power, which is already 3 to start, and +3 to the focus, which is already 3 to start, which is literally what Dave's card does as well. So it's just the perfect counter for Dave's card, and I love it for it. It's not our only play, though. I'm just trying to see what we're going to do against this Phantom's Kiss as well.
Love Alec. Pledge 10. Eat the beans. Oh, shoot. Sorry, David. No worries, Jess. It's, this is every time I try to use that bow, this is what happens. Every time.
What do you think? This one?
I have to go run to the back room because someone from the Garnted Cult did in fact pledge on the Kickstarter for Varia.
Nice.
So I'm going to go get one of them spicy beans. Alec in chat, please make sure you pick what color of those habanero beans you want.
Nicely done. So for people in Dave's chat, I can't quite show you the full card because Dave will not have been able to double click on it, but I'll drop it on the field regardless so that everybody can look at it. This is known as Fenrock's Leash. And so I'm debating whether to play this card or not. I was asking Amy's opinion.
I need to see it.
No problem. So Fenrock's Leash says, if you and your target started this moment, which we would be playing in a moment 2, engaged with each other, this action cannot miss due to distance.
But we didn't start the moment engaged.
But we will. Because this engages us, and we're the reactive player, so we will go second. So
right, but how does that affect the beginning of the next moment?
We stay in whatever distance we were at the end of the last moment. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have an effect that causes me to disengage in the second moment. It's just running under the assumption that I'm still standing on top of the hill shooting arrows at you.
You're supposed to be getting beans, Dave.
I did go get into beans, and Alex said green. Oh, I don't like the green ones. So that's Fenrock's Leash. I did have it up for a minute there.
Okay. All right.
So these are my Twitch community here is definitely trying to kill me because these are gifts that they give me.
Yep.
But here is a green one. Thank you very much for supporting such a creative endeavor and something that I'm definitely going to be streaming in the future. Although once and things, or actually once we're in the new space where I'm going to have the room, it's going to be a little bit wonky because we're going to have to shout the cards, but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
So here is a habanero pepper infused jelly bean. Oh, these start spicy. Oh, God. Why? Why did I put that incentive?
I do agree with Nightwing that you should eat all the beans.
Wow.
A serving... Oh, God. I'm not reading you that information. You're not allowed to know that. Oh. Thank you very much for supporting the Varia Kickstarter.
This is great. So I have to point out, I assume this is also a psychological advantage for us, because he's going to be off his game more.
That's what you think.
Is he ever on?
Disengaged. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay.
So something that we haven't had occasion to discuss yet, Dave is starting disengaged, and Dave has a start of movement ability on his Phantom's Kiss. We also have a start of movement ability on our Spellbreaker. So the way that two dueling starts of moment abilities work is the active player's start of moment abilities go off first, and the reactive players go off second, which is why this will work out the way we want it to. Dave will get his benefit. For at the start of the moment, he will be disengaged from us, and so this Phantom's Kiss, the first one in moment 1, will get +3/+3 until the end of the moment. But then our start of moment ability will go off, which says that we engage with Dave. And if our target's action, Dave's action, is magical, our ability, or our card, gets +3/+3 as well. And so, again, we will be evenly matched with Dave's card, but then we will be engaged when moment 2 occurs. So, yeah.
Yeah, PEMDAS, that's funny.
Sorry. There's very, very few math humor jokes I get. PEMDAS is right in my wheelhouse.
So, Dave, because I believe that was only our reaction phase, do you have any fast actions to respond to us with?
Wait. Do I have a fast action to respond to the... Those are some dice, and I'm gonna have the same dice. And you know what? I could add the dagger for now, but I'm not going to, because I actually want to try to do damage in both of these and not just, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, to long form answer your question, no, I don't.
Okay. And I then, since you don't have any fast actions, we don't have any fast reactions, so we go right to step 7, the resolution. So, in moment 1, we each pay 4 action points. I never put mine back to 10, but we'll pretend and just go down to 6. Okay. And so then your beginning of moment action will occur. So you get +3/+3. So you now have 6 plus a d6, 6 plus a d4. And then, as we indicated, our beginning of moment ability will go off. And so we also have 6 plus a d6 and 6 plus a d4. So it all comes down to the roll. Oh, you know what? Don't forget. What did we forget? Anybody remember? Why should we not have rolled our d4s?
Oh, this is the other thing that we did this like a couple of times.
Like every time.
We are both attacking, and again, I loved the imagery that Anthony gave everybody. We're fighting each other. Why would one of us all of a sudden mid-fight? Actually, people that watch my streams don't answer this question, but why would we attention away from the fight that we're currently doing mid-action? Whoever wants me to do stand-up, don't answer that question.
So we do not have to worry about missing because we're both just going at each other. We're not trying to block. Yeah, exactly. So so we actually just roll our d6 instead.
Ha ha! Roll a 6, roll a 6, roll a 6. 2!
We also got a 2.
But I wanted my really big bow attack.
So...
Are we in moment 1 still?
Yes.
Okay.
So we tied...
The gods of RNG have spoken. They really have.
Yeah. So we tied...
I really stop doing double bow attack. This has literally never worked the way I would want it to. Ever.
So a tie... So the way that two fights... one against one another in the same moment would work is if one of us had done more damage than the other, whatever the difference is what the loser would have taken in damage. Because we got the same amount of damage, guess what? Nothing changes. So...
I'd like to know if that's the case or if it's that the active player does something.
Well, there would be no damage to go over because we tied. Right? Because we both got 6 plus a d6, and we each rolled 2, so we each got 8. So no damage there's no difference in damage.
Okay, that's
right?
the clashing swords he was talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. So, that means we're on to moment 2 now. We will continue to pay, so we go down by 2 to 4, and Dave goes down by 4 to 2.
Not in health. All right.
Right.
Correct.
I'm still in this, baby.
Now, notably, the difference between moment 1 and moment 2 with Dave's bows is now we are engaged thanks to our Spellbreaker. So Dave does not get his beginning of moment ability, which only happens if he is disengaged from us, which he is not. Our card says, and doesn't really matter, but it says if we and our target started this moment engaged with each other, which we did, this action cannot now miss due to distance. But we're already in the clash phase, or the resolution phase, so that's somewhat irrelevant because Dave's clearly not moving away anymore. And it says on hit, your target engages you and they cannot disengage from you this turn, which is why this card would be very good if we had more moments, which we don't, but that is just fine. So we get 2 plus a d6 and 2 plus a d4. Dave, you get 3 plus a d6 and a d4.
But we're not rolling them d4s anymore.
Correct, because we attacked. We're just rolling the d6.
All right. Some damage on the board. Everyone in chat, hold up your hands.
Ah, darn it.
Nice.
Success. All right, so doing the math, Dave gets a 7 total, and we got a 4 total, which means good old math says the difference between 7 and 4 is 3. We take 3 points and go from 30 to 27.
Start 9 Riots giving you a pro tip there to play that card and then do Flurry of Fists.
That's really good. Very, very nice.
I also greatly enjoy that this game doesn't have the, like, depressing, like, boy, I really can't wait to play this card when I have $300 to
Yep, they are all included in the deck, in the starter decks, or the class decks. So, that is the end of the turn. I have tossed our 2 cards that we had on the field. We become the active player. We each draw 2 cards.
So, for those of you, Joe, So for those of you looking, you'll notice, by the way, bottom right there, what are those pips and what do they mean? Well, I don't actually, to be honest, know the technical term for them, so I apologize for that. But it helps things like this, where it's like the shadow pips, and then this will help pump up other cards that I have in future plays. Having those attribute cost.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you very much, Raven, for that.
Yes.
Joe, you can on by the way now.
We could do... Yeah.
So I'm going to draw 2. Ooh! Wow, shuffling really did actually help this game a lot.
Damien, yes, you're watching two live streams at once. I'm watching 2 chats at once.
Oh.
Inception.
Amy, what do you think of this? As well as this.
by the way, folks, while Joe and Amy are building their turn, now's a great time to remind all of you to hit that follow button down here on Twitch if you're watching. It means a lot to have you here on DM314, and thank you to everyone for joining. But at the same time, in chat, if someone could !G4A, follow that link to the other co-hosts of this stream on youtube.com/geekforall and subscribe over there. Preemptively, I'm going to tell you, you're welcome. The quality content that they do create over there, it's nifty.
It's very much appreciated, Dave. We thank you for that. And hey, since we're doing that, and it's all going to be, a happy love fest for anybody that's in our chat who is not aware of the gentleman who is speaking. That is Dave over at twitch.tv/DAM314. And I can say confidently that the folks over there in the Garnted Cult, in Dave's community, in Dave's chat, etc., are really awesome people. So, you should definitely go check them out. Yeah, Alec. Wow. So just to get this train rolling, Amy and I briefly discussed it, but we are going to play this, and then pardon us while I throw some flurry of fists away. There it is. Nope, that's not it at all. Hold on.
The flurry of fists.
There it is, as I drop this one as well.
And yeah, CJ, Alec just mentioned that the mall Wi-Fi can't handle both, so it's a similar issue.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay.
So we're swinging for the fences here, folks. That is what's happening.
I am going to... No, I'm going to save that one.
Yeah, guys, check out our old Varia videos.
Yeah, we have a whole playlist up on the channel. You can't miss it.
I am going to... you know what? I have a couple of these. I'm going to tank that. And then...
I love the art on that card. It's
this
just
card's
incredible.
Sick. That Void Walk is awesome.
You know what? I'm going to do the same thing.
Ha!
2 can play at that game.
Okay. So... Okay. Yeah, that seems fine. What's your total for your star there on your focus in Void Walk?
What's the... Sorry.
For your
Oh yeah, the pips that I have in
it is start 9 riots.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this is a deck. I'm very glad that when we shook this game out to play it yesterday, that I created the lobby, so I got dealt this deck. Because normally when I hear the character like type assassin and things like that, you've already seen. I'm a loud, obnoxious person. Assassin isn't exactly my forte. But I'm very glad that I got this one because I do enjoy the fact that this is a very tanky assassin in some ways. So it is a 6 in total.
Okay, so the number of attribute points that you had in the discard was 3, so 3 plus that is 6 total. I like it. All right, so then for moment 1, right? No fast actions or reactions from you.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty content with how these plays are going to shake out in my favor.
So, wow. I will say we have no counters either for anything. So let's go to our attribute roll, our focus roll. I'm going to remember the terms properly. So you get
yourself, but Dave is playing a card, but you'll notice that my card is a magical block, not an attack. Even though it's really cool looking.
Correct. So that means that you get 6 plus a d4. We get 3 plus a d4. So you'd have to roll pretty poorly for this to work for us. But let's see it.
Come on, RNGesus. Ooh, doggy.
All right. So you get a 9 and we get a 5. So our first attack misses. So our focus is lower than Dave's focus. So our critical strike misses. Then we move on to moment 2.
Raven, that's awesome. I know, not riots. I used the dagger a lot last game, and now I'm like, I don't want them to break it. I just don't.
Love Alec, maybe you should spend some of that money on the Varia Kickstarter.
They already did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
By the way, spoiler alert for those of you watching at home, Alec's actually in the studio with me.
Oh, really? Hello.
Nice.
That's the reason I put the mask on to go walk to the back to get the beans, because Alec is nicely giving a friend a ride. And I was like, don't sit in the closed mall. There's plenty of space to social distance in our... And this isn't even our renovated studio, by the way, so... Mwah.
All right, so we each have 2 plus... Or we don't need to roll our d4s, because we're both attacking. So it is just 2 plus a d6 for each of these. So we will try with moment 2 and see how it shakes out.
Raven, that is an amazing play. All right. Come on, RNGesus.
I can't see what you... Oh, a 2. Okay. So, yeah. So, we hit you for 2 points of damage.
It will always earn more pain beans.
All right. So, now we move to moment 3. And...
Yeah, Alec, that will. Oh, you know what I haven't been doing? And I apologize. I didn't do the... I haven't been doing my action points.
Oh, yeah. I just kind of... If it's less than 10 and I know it, I kind of just move along with it. But, yeah, we each have 7 total this round that we've used. So we would have 3 left over at the end.
This is fortunate, because when you're playing games with people you know or people that have an understanding of the game, the token is merely just to give people a reference point in the moment. But to be honest, if you can... look at the left-hand icon and know that they're not doing anything that costs more than 10, and then just keep in mind when someone, especially people at bigger size tournaments, try to cheese, just know that like it's 10 and the maximum is 10, and just call judge.
Yeah. And I mean, don't worry. I've been keeping track because I know that Dave's a dirty, dirty cheater.
Allah cheats and eats the beans. Alec, what color bean do you want?
The thing you said that we couldn't see.
Don't look at the serving size.
Oh.
Exactly. Spoiler alert: the serving size is 22 of those things.
Whoa.
No thanks.
Start 9 riots. These pain beans that Alec is so lovely referencing are a gift from my community. I usually eat Bean Boozled beans around the St. Jude's Play Live season. So that was an incentive, and then everybody liked my reaction so much that they've started buying me spicy things for me to die eating. So these ones are... I'm going to cover up the curse word on the cover, but it's butt-kicking jelly beans. Sorry, guys, that I'm doing a plug in the middle of the thing. But you want a yellow one, okay? Oh, it tastes of lemon. It's very refreshing. It's very nice. So I took the 2 damage. Are we on to the third moment?
Yeah. So now we have to roll our d6 one more time and see what happens.
Pardon me.
So now we take...
Good. Thank you very much.
Now we take 1. So we go to 26. Nicely done.
Thanks, Alec.
Wait, did I take any damage on that one?
No, just us.
Okay, good. Okay.
You took physical damage to your mouth hole.
All right, so we are...
I want to keep that card on top because it has more pips on it. Attribute points.
So you're the active player now. We're reactive. Hell yeah.
All right.
All right, why don't we put our little things back to 10?
Oh, thank you.
Our little coin-looking things.
Thank you, Judge. By the way, Amy's the responsible adult in our group that, like, when we're out in public, like, Joe seems very, very well together, but he's easily encouraged.
You would know because you're the instigator.
just most of the time. So yeah, Joe usually goes along, and then we all look at Amy, and Amy's usually the one going, "No, I am not a part of this."
And I do walk away.
Amy's smart about it. I'm gonna do something brave here, and by that I mean I'm gonna do this, and one of these, and one of these, and not start with it, so that maybe I can cause you to have to consider some motions there.
Okay, I was gonna say, just a friendly reminder. Then it means you're starting engaged.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
No worries.
As I slowly turn this rule card over so that I don't have to look at the rules. They're on the both sides. Out of everything.
They knew you were gonna be messing around.
They knew people like me would go like, yeah, I don't really see that on the rules card.
The rules will always be there. They'll never go away.
Headphones warning. I'm easily excited and I get really loud.
So I'm gonna... Amy, what do you think? If we use this one in moment 2, which will make it also in 3, and then we use this in moment 1?
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
I guess.
Okay. We're gonna try...
No. What?
Did I put the other combat reflex? I sure... Oh, I put this thing. It's not combat reflexes. That's...
No.
Hold on while I organize my stuff here.
Eardrums aren't worth it, Alec. They're just not.
Oh, God. Moving the whole board. There it is. Pop! Okay. We're good now.
There's so many furries.
Yeah, there's a lot of these. Okay.
Yeah, definitely don't use any of those. Those are bad. Those are bad. By the way, where is the Fury card? Oh, God, I can't.
There you go. It's right there.
So yeah, don't play any of these. They're bad. They're very bad for your opponent's health, and I don't like it when you play them. It makes me very sad. This person sitting across the table from you. So you have played cards that I don't like, and I'm not very happy with them. But
you're welcome.
Your choices are what they were. I am going to respond by, let's see, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So I have 4 points to play with. Obviously, by the way, folks watching at home, this game does go faster when you're not openly commentating on every single move and thought you have.
Sounds
How
right.
would you know?
Well, the third game we cranked out in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We both died at the same time.
Yeah, but you were talking the whole time.
I mean, welcome, nice dreams. All right, I'm gonna throw this guy on here, right here, to try to ensure that this happens as a fast action.
Ooh.
This art is definitely one of my favorites. These colors are insane. I love them.
Yeah, there are very few things in life that make me sad. When my students cry, that makes me really upset.
All right, so this basically the goal of this wind shank that Dave played is to add another d6 and another d4 to that particular roll. Dave, just as a reminder with the transfusion Driga, you cannot go above your starting health total.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean I can't hit you for a lot of damage.
Correct. Absolutely correct. So, that is your fast reaction. And we didn't have one, so... Or, sorry, that was your fast action. We do not have a fast reaction, so we will move on, unless you have another fast action. No, we will move on to the resolution. So, in moment 1, we'll pay our costs. We're down to 7. And then you have to try and hit us. You have 2 plus a d4, and we have 4 plus a d4.
By the way, for those of you keeping track at home, I did steal some of their d4s and d6s.
Okay, so your total was 6, ours was 7, so your first attack misses.
Whatever. This guy's going away.
You have your own you could use.
In moment 2...
Yeah, thank you for that.
What?
This is driving Joe absolutely crazy.
It really is.
It really is. Anyway,
I have beams being put against me, sir. You. By the way, I do this too, Joe, in IRL. You watch us play in some of Geek for All's videos. I do, in fact, reach across the table, and you can hear Joe audibly go, ah!
So, yeah, now we have 5 plus a d4, and you have 2 plus a d4. Let's roll it. Wow. 9 versus 5, so you missed that one as well.
Whiff.
And then on to moment number 3. Oh, right, I didn't pay for those. On to moment 3. You get 2d4 this time, plus 2, right? 2 plus 2d4?
Yep.
Okay, and we have 5 plus 1d4, so let's see it. 9 versus 8.
Well, luckily, Alec, we're not with you right now, so Joe gets spared.
Yeah. So, unfortunately for Dave, but very fortunate for us, Dave missed all 3 of those attacks.
I'll get you next time.
And so we become the active player.
I thought you were going to call us you're pretty.
Oh, no, I'll do that voice later.
All right, so we are going to...
Yes, Alex, bad for now.
We are going to start this turn disengaged.
How about not Nightwing?
Comic-Con, by the way.
Yeah.
Here you go, Joe. Here's some beans. Well, I don't really want to eat these. Well, I subscribed, so you have to eat.
We already have beans that we've had for years from our old punishment videos.
Oh, man.
That are still sitting around and are probably the most disgusting things in the world. So
can I have those for St. Jude's Play Live this year?
I have no idea where they are.
I was just gonna say I genuinely don't know where they are.
But
Well, if you find them, don't throw them away. I will take them because the older they get, the more powerful they get.
Sure.
Oh.
And people do so enjoy watching me give myself gastrointestinal death.
So as I mentioned, just for everybody's interest, we are starting disengaged this round.
No, I don't like this move.
So we're gonna play this. Let's just do some math. And we will play this. Hold on. How much is this? 3, so 3, 6, 10. Yeah, that's the fast, yeah. And we'll play Fenrock's Leash in moment 2. And actually, no, I lied to you. Ignore that card. It doesn't exist. We play this instead.
No.
Our Thorium Crusher in moment 2 instead.
Oh, I don't like that.
So,
Ooh.
go ahead.
Yep. So I'm gonna, knowing what's coming, play that.
How do you know what's coming? I don't know what you could possibly mean.
Well, I have a feeling, knowing that you've played more than 3 minutes worth of a trading card game, you're not going to. I'm going to stand over there and shadow box at you. And you're going to feel bad about it.
I actually do have to check our. For no apparent reason, I have to check our numbers here.
So, dropping a link in on Twitch here for the Kickstarter. If you kickstart any bit of the Varia Kickstarter that's on right now, which they have reached over their goal, you get to choose a butt kick and jelly bean for me to have to eat. Subs also do count, and follows are appreciated.
And Varia is appreciated. So once you've done it,
yeah,
you'll not only love that Dave has eaten a bean, but you will love that you get to experience Varia.
Because this game is a lot of fun.
Yep. So is the Void Walk your only response? I assumed not, but I didn't want to.
Sorry, I got a little distracted with the.
That's fine.
I want to save. We'll do that.
Okay. So backflip allows you to disengage at the start of the moment against our Thorium Crusher. So what we're going to do is, since we start disengaged, it would not make a ton of sense for us to have played this Critical Strike unless, in our fast action phase, we had this. As Raven, I believe, yes, correctly pointed out earlier, called it.
Oh, thank you, Alec. Have a good night.
Yeah, take it easy, Alec.
I don't like when you explosive charge at me.
I know.
It's terrifying.
I'm sending you hearts.
All right. In response to. So, all right. So I have a. Okay. I'm gonna do this just in case things don't work out too good.
Sure. That sounds right.
By the way, I'm throwing in the Bowie knife.
Oh,
so that
just as a reminder, you are attempting to combine a block and an attack.
Oh yeah. So never mind.
If you
Can't do that.
Right. If you
I could replace the action, but to be honest, I'm not going to get rid of a what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, an 8 D4 roll to just do 1 D4 worth of against 2 D4s with a bonus of 3.
Correct. Yep. So actually, interesting. I think this works out for me. We get to show something else off as well.
No, don't do it.
So our
When he plays anything, by the way.
our other fast
Thanks, CJ. Yeah.
our other fast action. Sorry, Amy.
No, it's all right.
Our other fast action is this one. Still in moment 1.
No. Come on.
Now, I will say, again, exhibition game, so I want people to understand what's going on. So I played this aimed edge. It does give it ranged. Not that that is relevant, because the explosive charge is going to let us engage. But our thorium crusher, we know, is going to miss. So, because Dave is backflipping away. So I now don't care about moment 2 anymore. Dave's not going to hit us for damage in moment 2, but moment 2 is irrelevant. So I don't care if I can pay for Thorium Crusher anymore. And with this third card being played in moment 1, I will not be able to afford the Thorium Crusher. So
I really, really, really like that mechanic.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Yeah. So
that's honestly one of my favorite parts of the game, which is just, yeah, I have this really good idea and everything's falling apart, and it's like, nope, I'm just going to do this instead.
Yes. Yeah. So basically what I'm going to end up doing now is just adding more to the focus of my attacks in moment 1 in hopes that they hit. So now I have 6 plus 3d4 in order to try to hit Dave, where Dave has 8 plus 1d4 to try to dodge it.
Can you do a 3-card combo?
Yeah, as long as you can pay for it.
Okay.
I know normally when I'm playing trading card games, I wouldn't be shuffling my graveyard around, but
yeah,
just checking to make sure there's not a free bigger D4 roll in there.
I understand.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
You ready?
I don't see anyone jumping in and saying you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Chat, so I guess it's fine.
Exactly. Are we ready?
All right, 8 plus 4 plus 3. All right, 11. Beat that.
We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we meet it. Perfect. Exactly what we needed. And the nice thing now is, oh my God, Dave.
Why?
Oh my God. So just because we haven't really had this come up yet, our explosive charge.
Thank you, Raven.
Oh God.
Our explosive charge did cause us to move toward our target and become engaged with them. So we get an extra power die until the end of the moment. And thanks to aimed edge, explosive charge, and critical strike combined, this attack is 3 plus 4d4. Oh, 46, sorry.
We're gonna kill the F out of you.
Stop that.
No, because you're going to roll lots of 1 and somehow the...
No, you'll be fine.
Dave gets 1d6. Oh, no, you don't get any d6.
No, I get no d6.
Oh.
I put all my eggs in the void walk basket.
Oh, I forgot about it. This is disgusting. Okay.
Yeah, you're about to do exactly what my character was spent years of his life training to not have happen to him.
And that's why I asked Chad if it was a legal thing to do.
Okay, so here's our 4d4 plus 3 plus 4d4. We get... Jesus. 21 damage.
Oh, God. I was close on that.
Okay.
I was just kidding, but
Have any
not so
shot, by
much.
the way, of one shot in the game?
I don't think so. You were 7 off, so it would have been 4, 5, 6. We could have put you to 1.
All right. I am now just crippled.
So now, just for formality's sake, going into moment 2, we would have paid 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total. So we would be left with 2 action. Yes, F's in chat. Thank you, Vladdy. We would be left with 2 action points, which means we would not be able to pay for our Thorium Crusher. But that is irrelevant because Dave would have backflipped out of the way, disengaged, and the Crusher would have missed even if we could have used it. So moment 2 is irrelevant.
I live for another turn for me to become the...
But wait a minute.
What? Go ahead.
That's a shame.
Does the Crusher go into our queue?
Oh, wait. No. I don't think so.
Because we couldn't pay for it.
The Thorium Crusher does go into the queue. Well, look at that, Raven. Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Raven. Okay. So the Thorium Crusher goes into the queue. So Dave, don't forget what the queue means. This Thorium Crusher will be at our moment 1 on your next turn. Thank you, Raven. Appreciate that. It does because we couldn't pay. Awesome. Okay.
Another part of this game that I love, because instead of watching people playing blue decks going, no, you don't get to do that. No, you didn't get to do that. The games are like, yeah, just, you're a little tired now, but fuck up, champ.
Yeah. So it does take 4 points away from us. Oh, we have to draw 2 cards. It does take 4 points away from us if we keep it there. But, I mean, hey, that's a pretty darn good thing to have in moment 1.
Yeah, it's great. And we can talk now about the queue and what that means and what that does. So the fact that we couldn't pay for that last card at the end of last turn means that it forces itself into the first spot of the following turn.
And so even though Dave is the active player, we have an attack in moment 1. And so it may cause Dave to make different decisions in moment 1 if he wants to. In fact, he could just start disengaged, throw a ranged attack down against us, and hope that we don't have a way to make our attack ranged after it. There are a lot of different options in this case, because now Dave, as the active player, knows what's up against him in moment 1, but it's like another card in our hand, although items are already kind of like that, so yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, you're telling me when we're playing this game, sorry, I really love the mechanics of this game. You're telling me when it's my active turn, you don't necessarily always have to be on the attack, or someone else could put you on the back foot?
Correct.
Almost like this game actually functions.
CJ, what flavor pizza did you get this time?
God, I love pizza. Anyway.
All right. Well,
attack, block, attack.
potentially a killing blow if I don't get away from that. I don't like wasting cards like this.
What do we have the thing? We do
for
have
my
the
turn,
thing.
I'm gonna.
Oh, but we don't have the points.
Do one moment where I am playing the cloak, and one moment where I'm using le knife.
Well, don't forget
cloak and dagger.
The dagger is fast.
The dagger can't be played as an item on its own. No.
It's got to be fast added to something else.
It's a fast play.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we'll have this. One flavor disconnect between the gameplay and the story is the gameplay. To me, seems to be that trying to play out your whole hand before you reshuffle somehow makes you fatigue or get tired slower.
Right, because the more cards that are in your discard pile, when it shuffles back in, it then takes you longer to get tired again.
Well, we've all watched Dragon Ball Z here. They, they open up with some pretty weak sauce, and then they really kick it in 7 hours later.
Right?
And that's how long the episodes go for.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Not even yet to the climax of the episode, although it's a new episode.
Oh, and by the way, Yamcha died.
Oh, CJ, yeah, the garlic twists, all about it. I can't eat it, but I very much would if I could.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this for my entire turn.
Okay, so no moment 2.
I am. Well, actually, we are. Wait a minute. Let's hold our horses here, and let's check this rules card for a second.
Okay.
I can declare engaged or disengaged.
Correct. That's why I said that.
I'm going to start disengaged, but I'm going to play this just in case you get clever on me.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, but so then you will not, that's your only moment?
Yes.
Okay. So then, yeah, that moment occurs.
You are the active player. You're not reacting to our card.
Well,
it's just there.
Right, but right.
So, I'm just letting him know that you can make as many moments as you want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that I do have. I just my hand's a little bit light on attacks.
That's fine. I'm just making sure that you.
So I always really appreciate that Amy's like, hey, that's a bad move. I'm like, I know, Amy. So I did choose to disengage the Thorium Crusher. So thankfully, Geek for All's Barbarian once again does takes 4 deep breaths and then swings this hefty hammer while I'm in active combat. Of course, the character's not closing his eye. Well, he could be closing his eyes and swinging it as I step back. And the good news is this is an armor item, so no, it doesn't go into the discard. It just goes into the Le Q, where now it is Geek for All's turn top. I'm gonna draw 2 cards.
Yep. So will we.
It is like Kodak moments. You can actually take pictures of the cards or something like that, or take a snapshot of the cards that you put down. I don't really know how to do it, but
right.
It's something you can do in Tabletopia.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You're absolutely right. What I will say, Dave, you said your hand was light on attacks, huh?
Yep. Or is it? Did I just waste an entire turn for no reason?
So now that we are the active player, I'm going to try to do something, and I'm going to whiff, but I'm going to try it. Is that okay with you, Amy?
Yeah.
All right. Because we're up enough points-wise where if this doesn't work, I'm not that upset. But we're going to play this.
The Killing Blow. 10 damage. Oh my god.
Excuse me, that's 10 plus a d6, thank you.
You're overrated. Listen here. Raven Six Slam Dig Decapitate.
That's right.
I legitimately can't
Always
wait to play this game in person, by the way, because I'm going to be real dramatic about my card plays. Let me roll that back. Really more dramatic about my card plays.
I was going to say, you're not already?
So now note. This decapitate costs 9 action points, and despite that it says that we have 2, we actually have 10 because I never put it back. So with this costing 9, it's basically saying we know you can't really play anything else in this turn, but if you hit, you probably win, so you're welcome. That's correct. Raven is absolutely right. If we roll a 4 on our d4, it kills him automatically because we get plus infinity plus 0 until end of moment.
I want to real quick ref in a particular term so that I understand what, because I've not seen this card before, and I just want to make sure when I see the word disrupt.
I think that's at the end of the rules it talks about disrupt.
Raven's not talking about what we're playing. Raven's talking about writing the script for the Varia anime.
Ah.
I really want to be on.
Yeah. So Dave,
I will gladly be the Yamcha character again.
So Dave, it says when an action becomes disrupted, it is turned sideways. From that point forward, actions planned against the disrupted action will be treated as if they are unopposed. No further rules or triggers from the disputed action will occur.
So if I have to play that on an item, not an action?
No, it says action. When an action becomes disrupted, it is turned sideways.
And so it still goes off, though?
No, it then says, no further rules or triggers from the disrupted action will occur.
Okay. Well, then let's see how you like one of these ones. This is a card I haven't played before, but this.
Shield Kick.
Fast action.
It is fast.
He's taking our Decapitate off the field. He's cheating again.
Oh, and clarify, you can play fast cards at any time, including during your normal planning phase.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah, we looked that up last night, and we couldn't.
We didn't know either
find
way.
anything that confirmed that to be true.
So thank you.
Thought it was only something you could play during fast action and fast reaction phases. So thank you for that, Raven.
Thank you.
Here we go. I'm gonna shield kick.
Okay. So it says disrupt your target's action if it's physical and has a power of 5 or more. Okay. Well, then, right. So then we will go to that moment, start the moment, and it becomes disrupted. And so it rotates 90 degrees, turns sideways, but then that's the end of the moment anyway. So nicely done.
It's like that old song, "Boot to the Head."
Nice. Ooh, I like this one.
So once again, folks, as I glance over at this, we did not. We're both maintaining above board on keeping action points honest, so we're not using the counter because in typical games you may, like when I play this in the future, I probably will have a D10 just so that I can keep it for myself in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yes, but also at the same time, no. How you feeling? How you feeling, Joe? What are you thinking?
I mean, it's your turn, I think, right?
That I do know.
So
I'm going to start disengaged.
Okay.
And I am going to do one of these. And just in case you get squirrely about that card, I'm going to put one of these down.
Okay.
And that's my actions.
Okay. Okay, so I think in moment 1...
I am so glad I didn't have to play something else to try to deal with that decapitate. I've gotten really lucky die rolls. Joe has not successfully decapitated me yet in playing, but there are many games in the future for that to happen.
Let's drop that, which lets us drop that. And then, yeah, I guess that's it for now. Yeah, that's our reaction. Do you have any fast actions?
You're gonna bust out combat reflexes.
Correct.
And so I
have good reflexes.
There you go.
Yeah, yep. Well, let's let it hit the table as it hits the table.
Oh, okay. Well, we have one fast reaction, and that is to put down that.
You can still react to that.
Yeah, you can still have a fast reaction.
You still
to that.
have a...
No, I just would rather you not play that at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I can't abide to that.
I'm a hoot at trading card games, by the way. Judge, can you tell them they can't play that? Sir, if you call me over for no reason again, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Hey, welcome. I love Hello Kitty.
Well, I am. Yeah. No. Whatever about it.
Okay. All right. So then, for moment 1, we will pay for it, just to be, doing the right thing. And then we each get 5 plus a d4 to see if you hit. Or if we block.
You know what? I'm going to call on you because I've never rolled you before. This is your turn. Here we go. Raven also pointing out that your next rolls are going to be terrifying because of that enrage.
That's the point. But Dave, you did hit us. We rolled a 1, you rolled a 4, so you get a total of 9, we get a total of 6.
Well, enjoy your fatigue now.
But I have one right here.
No, take that one.
All right, so we have fatigue. So do you want to double click on fatigue so people can see what it does?
Yeah.
So from now on, actions that we perform have at the end of moment, you lose 1 health point for each stack of fatigue you have.
Which means that prepare to see long, drawn-out turns coming in the future.
Not from us, but anyway. Now we go on to moment 2. Dave gets a D4 to try to hit us, and we get 5 plus a D4 to try to block it, which means you can't hit us.
Well, let the dice roll about it, and I missed.
What a surprise.
I actually didn't come up with the 10.
But at the end of moment 2, we gain 3 enraged. So, Dave, do you want to show people what enraged does?
No, I'd rather not.
Okay. I'll tell them then. So, at the all of our actions have at the beginning of moment engage. Physical actions we perform get an additional power die, and at the end of each moment, we lose 1 enraged. So as I pointed out, you can just take a die, put it on top. We have 3 enraged presently, and at the end of moment 2, thanks to our fatigue, we lose 1 health and go to 25.
Well, also our hammer gets all kick-ass. Click on it.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
It's a pretty sweet hammer that we have there on Enrage. Very, very nice.
The Crusher, or...
I mean, it's probably. It looks like it, right? It's just got more spikes now.
And swirly things.
Yeah, filigree and whatnot.
Runic weapon, so it's magically like... you also lose 1 enrage stack at the end of moment 2.
Okay.
Sorry, it's the only thing I have going for me. Because those things hurt a lot.
Oh, Raven said, never mind, I didn't read Enrage.
No, yeah, Enrage gives it to us at the end of the moment, so we wouldn't have an end of moment to lose it. Yeah. Okay, anyway, we will start our turn drawing 2 cards.
Yeah.
And I will just say, as we have many cards in our hand right now, there is no maximum hand size for this game.
Correct.
Which is nice.
I will also say, since it is our active turn, I'm going to go ahead and tell Dave something that he is not going to be happy to hear, and that we are going to start disengaged.
No.
And then, even more upsetting for Dave, we're going to have moment 1 be this card.
No.
Dave hates that.
I don't like it.
Oh! And our decapitate is 7 attribute points.
Yes, it is. So you're hitting me for 10.
Correct. Plus a d6. Oh, and plus an additional d6 with enraged.
This is so unnecessary. He's at 7.
He is at 7.
Is it though? But is it though? How many games did you guys have in the bag and I just managed to like...
That's the point of a rogue, Dave.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but again, I just can't be all quiet. I'd be that meme of the assassin that's going, oh my god, my knee is killing me. The person comes up and they're like, oh my god, sir, are you okay? And he's like, Tony Luke, he says hi. And like,
hey, whatever works, man.
So you're just playing that one, right?
Correct.
And you're starting disengaged?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. All right, so I've got this one in hand, folks watching at home, and I've got this one. So the thought here is try to tank as much damage as I possibly can. And this one's try to potentially dodge with a pretty high roll. And then honestly not too bad on a start of... Actually, the best I could hope for is to negate this effect if I played this one. So I'm gonna...
I love this card so much.
Though, if I put this down and then throw this on it, I get another D6. And I get that. All right, yep, we're on the table. Here we go.
Okay, so Dave has a brace yourself, which is 8 plus a D6 for basically, like he said, attempting to tank as much damage as possible. Dave, is that your only reaction?
So the text on this one, you cannot engage or disengage this moment, so I can't affect the board state.
Right.
It doesn't mean you can. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was about to say, wow, broken, but no, perfect.
Yeah, and so...
My character's literally going, huh?
So as our fast action, unsurprisingly, since we started disengaged, we're going to drop an explosive charge.
What do you think of that, Raven?
Why? Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, I misplayed that. There she goes.
But you have your skull, Dave. That'll help you.
Give us that profane memento.
Raven, explosive charge makes me so happy to see off the top. I'm very happy, Raven. It makes me happy. It makes me really sad to see. There's never been a moment where I'm like, oh boy. Okay.
But now it's 10 plus 3d6. What could possibly go wrong?
I have a very good solution to this situation.
Whoops.
Play every card you have on moment 1.
Yeah.
And try to survive.
Pretty much.
I'm getting a hint from my chat, and I'm being real thick about it. They're trying to be smart about it. Yeah, no worries, Raven. No worries, Raven. That's the other thing I kind of like about this game, where it's not. I like games that make me think. I do. Like, I don't like games where I can mentally tune out, a la Monopoly and things like that. Where, like, everybody's just kind of playing because they've been playing these cards for a couple months and now they don't really need to read them anymore. Like, I mean, that'll happen once I'm doing this, but I don't know. I like these cards because they're living.
Yeah.
The die rolls affect each roll and every part. Like, I really look forward to playing this game more in the future.
Yeah, Dave's right. Every game of Monopoly lasts 2 months.
It does, and it's why Claire wants me to play it with her, so but my wife. Really bad for those of you in chat that don't know who she is. And it's why I'm like, yeah. Oh no, I'm falling asleep. That's not a fast action. Oh god. Oh, all of my thoughts are not happening.
We could roll poorly.
Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna. Can I? All right, judges. Can I play this even though I can't disengage, but I can get the extra die rolls?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I don't see why not. Yeah.
I can't like.
That's what we did in that other turn. We didn't realize it's what we were doing, but it's what we were doing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm at least giving myself some extra dice to re-roll because, likey, wanty die.
Sorry, I tried to spin that card around and it didn't like it. Hold on. I got it. There we go. I fixed it.
I think you just both tried to do it.
Tabletopia, you can do. Like, I love that effect exists.
Yeah.
spin the card around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
there's a lot of freedom with this platform.
Yeah,
is it considered a platform?
Sure. Platform, software, whatever you want to call it. Website. I like it a lot, though. It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, okay. So that is your fast reaction. I have no fast action in response to that. I should probably go back up to 10.
You know what?
Oops, wrong way.
I still don't like it. So in response to your not playing anything, I'm going to play this.
Okay.
For a full 10 points, baby.
All right, so... Okay. Well, it's not 10 points. It's just 8 plus 3d6 now.
No, for my
Oh, I see. Your action points. I misunderstood.
I have now exhausted my character trying very hard to flee.
Okay. Very good.
That's great.
So then at the start of the moment, we pay costs. You pay 10. We pay 7. And so you have 6 plus 3d4, and we have 5 plus 2d4 to try and hit you.
Raven says this is a pretty even block here. So
yeah, seems it. Are we ready?
All right, so I'm looking at I'm adding 6 to whatever I roll, correct?
Correct, and we're adding 5.
All right, here we go.
So Dave gets a 13, and we get a 12.
Whoa. Awesome. Yeah, no, this game is awesome.
At all, does it?
My enraged would give us power die, but we don't get that far. Because we miss. Nicely done.
Oh.
Very, very nice.
Also, let's not forget, at the end of that moment, we take 1 damage and go to 24.
Yes.
And we lose
fatigue.
Correct, from our fatigue, and we lose 1 enraged. So we set our die now to 2 stacks of enraged instead of 3.
Your turns become. That's why, by the way, for those of you watching at home, I bet the farm on not letting them hit and trying to actually block. Because the dice that they would have put on the table. I already survived 4. Like. All right. So now, it's my turn.
That's right. We draw 2 cards. Okay.
I am going to start. All right, so here's where I'm going to get kind of mean about it, because remember, they are fatigued, which means that every moment I create, they take 1 damage regardless of whether the fact that it resolves or not.
Correct.
So I'm going to start engaged. I know what you're saying. Dave, don't do that. That's a bad idea. You're going to lose the game. You're not very handsome. All things that are true. But, are you ready for this?
Whenever you are.
All right. So, here we go. I'm gonna put some damage on the board because I'm gonna start with this guy. I'm gonna play one of these. I'm gonna play one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. And 7, 8. Yep. And that's all I have.
Okay, let's see. The serrated venom is magical. So I guess what I should do against serrated venom is play this. And then with
you have?
and then with your subtle strike, I guess I should play.
Probably should have skulked in the shadows to start just for gigglies, but you know, here we are.
I guess I should play. Interesting. I guess I'll play this.
Oh, not like.
And I will have that be it.
Sure you don't have anything else to shake out to continue to try to break it in my nose?
I mean, it's not our fast action phase yet, so I don't know. But we have to see, or sorry, our fast reaction phase, but we have to see if you use a fast action first.
I wish I could play this card. I really do. So hey, about that. All right. Yeah, you know what? I am going to. Oh no, this is going to potentially cost me a lot of stuff. Set me up for. What are your rolls on this? No, I don't think RNG will affect me in this way. All right, I'm gonna not respond to any of your moves other than to say.
Okay, I like CJ's point. Dave is slowly reaching for the pocket sand. All right, so interestingly, if that's what you're doing, I think what we will do. Yeah, I mean, we still have our 2 stacks of enraged for these 2 moments, so I think we're okay on fast actions as well. So,
joy.
Oh, you forgot about that, did you?
So, we will go to our moment 1, and you started engaged, correct?
Those enrages expire when actions are performed regardless if they hit. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so we lost 1 last round when we only had 1 moment. That's why we're down to 2, and because we started with 3, and now after these first 2 moments, we'll be down to 0. But since these first 2 moments are us attacking, it's more beneficial to us that way.
Yep, did not. I want to live long enough to skulk in the shadows. That's really.
Oh, well, unfortunately, if you recall, your attack in moment 1 is magical, so our Spellbreaker gets +3/+3 until end of moment.
Yeah, about that.
So, and since we're both attacking, we don't have to roll focus, so it's just 6 plus 2d6 for us to try to hit you, and you have 4 plus 1d6 to try to hit us, or deal damage to us. So are you ready?
You know what? Yeah, you know what? I could potentially toss this on the stack, by the way, folks.
Sure.
We've kind of moved away from those phases, so we've already started them.
No, you can do that if you want. I don't care.
Fine me for not remembering to play it, but at the same time, another d6 may not have necessarily saved my keister.
Yeah, maybe. So are we rolling them?
And we're rolling like a river.
Oh God!
Oh no, Dave! No.
Oh no!
Love Alec. There's no hope.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Alec's back.
Yeah. So basically, Dave, that means in moment 1, we got a 15 and you got a 5. Which means
I won. Great game. Let's play again sometime. Thanks very much for coming. And hang on here as I just go into
yeah.
15? Really? I just walked into that. RNG is not on my side. Yes, it was. I just stupidly walked into it. I in my hand too.
I'm sorry, Dave. I would have helped you, but I ran to the bathroom real quick, and apparently it was the wrong moment to do so. Because I could have been like, no, play this. Play more things.
So, okay, why don't you try it with the Bowie knife? and see what would have happened. Roll another d6 out of curiosity. If you get a 3 or higher, or a 4 or higher, you live. You live if you do that.
Yeah.
It means you don't get to skulk in the shadows, though, by the way.
But that's like the linchpin. By the way, the skulk in the shadows, which we're referring to, is this action cannot be combined with other actions, so you can't affect it in any way. Attacks cannot be planned to clash with this action. So it's quite literally me skulking around in the dark, being like,
and we would basically what we realized, because at first that card looks like, what's the point of it? Well, the point of it is, once he gives us this fatigue and or hemotoxin, bleeding, etc., and puts like these debuffs on us, we would be sitting there for that moment and taking all that damage, maybe losing a stack of enraged or something. So yeah, that's how Skulk in the Shadows would have helped out. But yeah, if you want, you can be alive if you play the Bowie knife. So what? You would get a total of 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 versus 15, so you only go to 2. You're still alive.
oh, only 2. Oh, joyous day.
So there you go, CJ. There's Dave's pocket sand. He's like, pocket sand, I had another D6.
Pocket dagger.
And so then we move to moment 2, but first of all, at the end of moment 1, we lose 1 health for our fatigue, and we lose 1 of our stacks of enraged and go to 1. Maybe, but this is more even.
Dave, can you just check the cost of your cards there and make sure that with the Bowie knife you're still within that 10?
Yeah,
At exactly 10.
Yeah,
okay.
the Skulk would be the 11th.
I just couldn't see from
That's
the
fine.
distance.
Yeah. Really
Hi, guys.
I'm not going to get the skulk about this.
But
all right, so subtle strike. I get 1d6.
yeah, we each it's 3 plus 1d6 for each of us.
All right.
Well, hold on a minute. What about our enrage?
Oh, you're right.
The second one.
You're right. We do get it. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, you roll that second one, and if you roll more than a 5, 6.
No, so you hit us for 1. You don't die. You live.
I know.
All right, so
on the nose for 1 plus 1 fatigue damage.
correct. And then our enrage all goes away. And in moment 3, we take another fatigue damage and go to 20.
Except that I don't have the play for.
Oh, you're right.
The next one.
You're right. Never mind. So you're right. So that is in the beginning of the moment on our turn, which is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, you don't get to attack in that turn.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Oh
right.
no! But if you do draw the 1 card that would help for that moment, which I really do for the sake of the fact that people are watching us play this game, I really hope you draw that card.
I didn't, which means it's in my last 2 cards in the deck because we haven't seen it yet. Wow.
All right.
I mean, I'm still gonna go into moment 2 and play more things.
This is getting intense.
I love it. So I'm gonna play this.
No, don't play that. That's a bad choice.
Is it though?
All right, so let's look at. Oh, hang on. We're gonna team powwow about this. Let's look close at what we have in our hand to try to prevent that 10. We've got a 4. We've got a 5.
Oh, it's not even this. Sorry. Oh God. I did that wrong.
And you can tell the mic is nice, Vladdy, because when he's that close to it, it sounds actually really very good.
Yeah.
Amy, he's actually referring to a conversation Boater's having in chat. And hi, Boater, man. About Boater bought a new microphone for himself for his.
Oh.
Well, I hope it's as good as the one you're talking into right now.
Yeah.
It is more expensive, to be sure.
Okay, good.
It is probably better, just because this one's like
It is 4 years old at this point and has been used by so many different streamers and moved to so many different places that Lord knows, as much as I scream at my coworkers to put this back in the case when they move it, typically they don't.
Well, it's in good condition still, so.
Yeah.
And I'm starting off the turn at 9 action points, so I got to be very careful about how I do these things so I can respond to some of this stuff in kind.
Are you whispering because you're skulking in the shadows? Did I only just get this?
I did it just because I didn't say it out loud, though. I'm glad that, like many of the jokes I make during my stand-up shows, you got it.
Yeah.
Which is me standing in the shadows as you're making your turn going, all right, he's got a big-ass stick, and I don't want to be in front of that. I would gladly voice the assassin if you ever made an anime. As Raven and I will definitely kickstart that as well. The Varia Kickstarter is already, while in the shadows, why not do plugs, is already beaten itself. But every time during the stream, if you kickstart that Kickstarter, I will eat one of these ass-kicking jelly beans. So, yeah, while I'm in the shadows, definitely, because I'll have to try to keep quiet about it.
That will be difficult.
By the way, I'm standing just ever so far behind him, but I'm standing there as he's reading and thinking to himself, wait a minute, is such things. By the way, Start 9 Riots, this is how almost every single one of our games thus far have played. Playing.
Yeah, this is really good.
So, much love to the wonderful folks at Guild House Games.
Yeah.
For creating a game that literally allows me to skulk in the shadows.
Where,
and
by the
Start
way,
9 Riots, that is for sure true.
Yeah, and also if if this flavor works out the way I think it will, you're skulking in the shadows right behind me. I'm going to turn around, grab you by the neck, and slam my head into yours so hard.
And he has a hard head.
I do have a really hard head. That's true.
Trading card game Varia.
Yeah.
And a heavy head as well.
I had the shadows to talk to one of my friends who works here at security in the building. because the security people love me. After the first time, and CJ and chat can attest to this, the first time I ever streamed in here after hours, I yelled really loud and it echoed through the mall, and one of them went running from the office to go find out what that was. Oh yeah, I didn't tell people I'm here. Metal Gear.
Was it the stream where you and I played PT and I scared the bejesus out of you?
No, fortunately it was not that one. It was one where CJ and I were playing Friday the 13th.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so I think, Dave, we're all waiting with bated breath. What response could you possibly have to this fantastically drawn cranial crash?
All right. So, here we go.
It's painted.
Are.
I was just gonna say, I was actually genuinely, I was going to say I wanted to let Dave finish, but I was hoping that it wasn't offensive to say drawn. It is as well painted, colored, etc. It's just very good looking, regardless. But
I bought you some time there, Dave.
Yeah, there's a sublimate. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that as my response to your actions.
Interesting. Okay, so as our fast action, I think, just to give us some more points, I'm going to drop this bad boy.
No, don't play that. That's a bad card.
I'm so sorry, but
you don't want that.
I'm sorry. I just really felt compelled to do it. It gives me 8 plus 2d4. I feel like that's good.
Yeah, you don't want that.
And 10 plus 2d6, seems okay.
Yeah, don't do that. That's bad.
So at this point, Dave is deciding whether he has any fast reactions.
And so I'm getting That's a block, though. You can't combo attacks and blocks.
Correct.
You're comboing an attack and a block.
Oh, I am. Damn it. Thank you. So then never mind. Nicely done. Okay. Thank you, Start 9 Riots. Appreciate that. I'm usually aware of that with like Dave's block plus Bowie knife, and I missed it for myself, so I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, we're not.
It's because reduce the amount of dice that Joe gets to roll.
Yeah.
So good on you.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we haven't attempted to do before now in our practice games. So
Yeah.
I feel like, and I'm going to whisper even quieter to make it harder for you to hear me, that as I lean closer to the microphone, terrifying people with headsets going, oh God, is he going to yell? And over here in the shadows, that this will probably trigger less because we'll actually be able to look at the cards closer.
I have no fast actions, by the way, if that was a question.
So I am going to respond to your fast action ASMR. I mean, kind of, but this has been a thing I've been doing. I'm just in character because I'm skulking in the shadows right now. I'm gonna actually, yes. Here's what I'm gonna do. Wait, no, can't do it.
You did try to do the same thing we did.
Because I wanted to stab you really bad. So instead, I'm gonna stab you really. It's a blood.
That's still the same thing. We both
Why did I not think of this before I played that?
we both tried to do the same issue 3 times in a row.
you can do this, Dave. Just think.
I've skulked in the shadows for long enough, and I believe it is time for my response to just be, hey.
Oh, good. So moment 1 begins and ends. Dave spends 1 point, and I take 1 point of fatigue.
In the shadows, make sure to hit that follow button down below here at TAM314. Much love, and also go over to youtube.com/geekforall and give them a sub.
Please.
Yes. I'll do my regular plug for Dave after this moment goes off one way or another. But
Skulking in the shadows, that's what I'm choosing to do.
correct.
Standing 14 feet behind you, and you're like, who the hell?
Yeah, and so I turn around and bash you really hard with my skull, and you have to attempt to make yourself as thin as air so that my skull goes right through yours, making for a very uncomfortable situation for everybody who witnesses it. So,
1d4 plus 3.
and I get 1d4 plus 5.
No, excuse me, I get 1d4 plus 4.
Correct, and we get 1d4 plus 5, yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Oh, no.
so all that means is that we hit. That's all we know so far.
Yeah, but I didn't want that to happen at all. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
if I could turn back time and have that one back, yeah. That would be...
Well, unfortunately, you have a first name and a last name, so you're not Cher, so you cannot turn back time.
But we could find a way.
That was a yeah,
She couldn't turn back time either.
that was a
fun.
long walk for that not great joke, but I appreciate that you followed
really
up
was
on it,
not.
Dave. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so are you ready for 10 plus 1d6 versus 4 plus 1d6?
So if you could just roll a 1, that would be great.
If I roll a 1 and you roll a 6, you live.
Yep. Yep, because that's what... Yep. Yep, so here it comes. Here's the 6.
Doing it. Nope.
Damn it, I rolled a 2.
And we rolled a 4.
Well, my skulking in the shadows comes to a very hasty end. Exactly the way I would have wanted it to, where I'm whispering.
Start 9 Riots, I appreciate the wishes, but it did not pan out that way. Although, again, that would have been a really fun way to have the game continue. But,
So, GG.
yes, great game.
This was so much fun.
Yeah.
I look greatly forward to getting the cards from the Kickstarter because I'm getting the Druid deck and the Bard deck.
Okay.
and I'm indefinitely for St. Jude's Play Alive this year at May, going to be picking up an IRL assassin class deck, because me want to play that.
And we already have the barbarians, so we'll be ready to face off against you again with those in real time.
Yeah.
This was a blast. As we brought up in the beginning, or when we discussed this the other day, I guess for proper disclosure purposes, we were in no way sponsored for this particular stream, but in the past, Varia did send us here at Geek for All, not Dave, but us, and that wasn't to rub it in, that's just to point it out. They sent us their 7
sick rubbing.
Yeah, there's 7 starter class decks for us to review, which if you are on our channel, or if you go to our channel, youtube.com/geekforall, as Dave mentioned multiple times. Thank you, Dave.
No way.
If you go to our channel, you can see the playlist where we opened every single one of those decks and reviewed every single card. Amy did an amazing job of referencing the art and discussing specifics with art with her background. As well as history and other inspirations similar to that I am completely out of my depth with regards to. But I tried my best to look at the card mechanics and also comment on art that I thought was beautiful, etc. So we were gifted those in the past, but this was something that we did for fun because we were interested in actually getting a chance to play this game and to support these wonderful folks with their Kickstarter. Dave doing a really nice job of helping them out with their incentives, etc., or with the incentives, etc.
They didn't need my help, by the way.
Correct. They already met their goal. And don't forget, there are stretch goals. If this game seemed fun to you, these decks exist. And so you should search Varia, the name is right there in the middle of the screen, or Guild House Games. Guild spelled the way you would expect it to be spelled. House the same, and games the same. Guild House being one word.
I'll drop the link in both, just
There you go.
You did drop that link at the very beginning, but...
Yeah. More pocket sand. But yes, so those links are in Dave's chat over at twitch.tv/DAM314. But like I said, if you search Guildhouse Games or if you search Varia, you will be able to find this for yourself as well. But this was an absolute blast. Like I said, if this game seems interesting to you, you can buy these decks for yourself.
Today, right now.
Yeah, those exist. And then the 7 new decks for the Kickstarter are all from their are all duplicate attributes. So you would see in like another barbarian attribute deck, they have another one of those. They have another assassin attribute deck, etc. They're just different classes as you would see in many realms of fantasy. I figure I can
pull up from my stream to see on my stream. The Varia Guildhouse Games LLC.com/shop, where you can get the Shadow Assassin, which is the character I played, or the Volcanic Warrior class deck, which Geek for All, Joe and Amy played.
Yeah.
And there are other ones, Death Pirate, Divine Paladin, Cosmic Mage, Mystic Monk, Sixth Blade, and a pre-order on the Dragon Knight, which is cool.
Yes, that was their last one that they added just before the Kickstarter. So
nice.
Really, really awesome. And then the some of the stretch goals can add other classes on the Kickstarter if that is something that people are interested in as well.
So just for funsies, we'll look here at the Kickstarter. And congratulations, by the way, to Guildhouse for crushing that goal and getting that on there.
Yeah. Really awesome.
Amazing.
Well deserved.
Where do you, by the way, without clicking the back this project, where do you look at the thing itself? I'm very new to Kickstarter.
What do you mean the thing itself?
Like the project itself. To see the items, campaign. Duh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you click on campaign and then just scroll down. You're good.
So, Yeah, $15 gets you a single class deck of the new classes: the cleric, the druid, the fencer, the bard, the ranger, the sorcerer, the spell sword. You can do a fight night where you get 2 decks dealt to yourself. You can do $100 and you can get all of them. $200 signed limited edition, and some other spectacular. The executive producer edition, actually, those are already taken, aren't they?
Yes.
Which were bad ace.
If people are watching ours, I just pulled it up here as well.
There's some other backer goals where you'll get exclusive cards delivered unto you for just backing it and being one of the many to back it. And then stretch goals, which would add Samurai, Scion, Witch, and then at 100K, the Aeon, which, oh my God.
Yeah.
Classes, like.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And then based on
attributes, excuse me.
Yeah, and they also have different incentives based on the number of backers. And if they get to certain numbers of backers, it unlocks different cards, like different versions of existing cards as well, like Flurry of Fists or Void Walk or Explosive Charge that you all saw tonight, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 others from other decks as well.
Oh, Charm is one of them. Charm is one of my favorite arts from the set.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
I like the idea of the title Cosmic Denial. That really, like...
Yeah.
That speaks to me.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you back this before the end of the stream, for every one of your backing delures, Spicy Bens are at it.
Yes.
Already had to eat at least one.
Also, just a reminder to folks over at Dave, right? If you subscribe to us, it's YouTube. You just click the subscribe button and you'll, if you want to get notified, you can click that bell as well. You get notified when all of our videos come out. But for Dave over on Twitch, subscriptions mean something slightly different, and it does cost. But I will say that just a friendly reminder for people who are not typical Twitch users, if you have an Amazon Prime account, making your buying deliveries, etc., easier for yourself. If you have an Amazon Prime account and you link it with a Twitch account, your Twitch account, you will be able to use your now Twitch Prime to subscribe to one channel per month for free. That does give money to those streamers, and if you don't do it, you're leaving money on the table, which is definitely not something that Amazon needs. So you don't have to use it at twitch.tv/DAM314, but it would be a very, very good place to do so. As you have heard Dave doing an amazing job tonight, being super entertaining. I can attest to the fact, if you did not hear all the great jokes and commentary that was being given through chat as well, Dave has a really great community over there in the Garnted Cult. I heard that their founders are pretty cool. In the Garnted Cult over there. Just saying.
You're one of them.
I may have been one of the co-founders, yes. So, yeah, an amazing group of folks over there. So it is definitely worth your time and your not dollar if it's an Amazon Prime thing, because it's not. It's Amazon's money, not yours.
It's free.
Yeah. So we highly encourage you to do that as well. But regardless, this was awesome. I had a really awesome time tonight.
Yes. Also, if anyone would like to play these decks of Varia on Tabletopia, that is also free.
Yeah. Just look it up.
Create an account and play.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Search Tabletopia. The word is up in the top left of either screen, Dave's or ours. And technically, you can see the website link as well. Just tabletopia.com, and then you can search for Varia as well. And you can play these for yourself, find a friend, and join in.
I believe these are the only 2 decks you can play on it, however.
For now, yes, that is correct. So, yeah. Nicely done. Thank you, Dave, for hanging out with us and letting us hang out with you as well.
I really appreciate being able to collaborate with you. This was a lot of fun, reaching across the internet bounds from Twitch to YouTube and vice versa. And as always, a lot of fun. I look greatly forward to playing this game in the future and in person in the future.
Yes.
But for now, the fact that they got this game on Tabletopia is amazing because it opened up our ability to just play it.
Yeah. I can also say that the VOD for this stream will be up on youtube.com/geekforall starting basically immediately after we're done here. And you can watch any parts of it that you missed from our perspective, although you will see the whole field. But you can see it from our perspective anytime over there on the channel, so you are more than welcome to do that as well.
I believe that that does in fact wrap up the...
like I said earlier, though, check out those old Varia videos that we have, where you can listen to us talk about the flavor texts, the arts, and all kinds of things about the 2 decks that we played tonight, as well as the rest of the original. 7 or 8? 7 decks that came out initially, and those are all available for you to purchase. Not from the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter are the new decks, so just be aware of that.
Yeah, I'll put it in our chat, and then Dave, if I can, I may jump over and put it in yours as well. Jesus, wow. Sorry. Here, hold on. So I'll put it in our chat, and then I will pop over to Dave's as well. Okay, good. It's already muted. Okay, and so I put our playlist in there as well. So that is the playlist of us reviewing all of the original decks. You will see every single card. So you can check that out for yourselves as well. For every single one of these 7 decks. But yeah, this was awesome. Dave, thank you so much. Garnted Cult. Anybody who was in either chat, both chats, what have you.
Yes.
Thank you also very much.
Thank you so much to specifically to Raven and
Start 9 Riots.
Starts 9 Riots, because you guys were very helpful in the gameplay aspect.
Yes. I appreciate it. And
thank you to Alec for all of your fundraising efforts.
That's right. So, yeah, I mean, we have stuff, not to inundate people with plugs. We have stuff on Geek for All. We put 3 videos out a week. On Video Games for All, 3 videos out a week. And you can subscribe to Gluten Free for All as well. There's more videos there.
More videos coming.
Yeah. But that's probably it for us, Dave.
Yeah, if you need to wrap up.
Just thank you guys for doing this with us. I'm very excited that we were able to play Varia, because when I watched the openings, I was like, man, that looks like a game I would love to play. And as it turns out, yes, I do. So looking greatly forward to the expansion of Varia and other things. Maybe we can try to get some sort of Saratoga Comic-Con Varia thing going. We'll just put that out in the cosmos. That is going to be happening in the future, and so who knows? But I do know, and I will spoil, that one of the incentives for St. Jude's this year on DAM 314 is going to be this 2-person battle, since we epically battled as the assassin and the barbarian. In the future, I'm going to be setting that up as a donation tier where someone could potentially get that as a prize pack to be able to play on their own.
Nice.
But just because like we had so much fun playing yesterday, and like I didn't even win all the time, but like even in loss I had fun.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, for God's sakes, what was it, like turn 3 or 4 that you did this to me, and then we had like another 4 turns.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Of just you trying to squish me and me being like,
that sounds right.
And those dice rolls really make such a huge difference.
Big time.
You know, because when you just look at the action on each card. Yeah, when you're just looking at the action on each card, you're like, oh, okay, this is going to do a lot against this other thing. And then when you actually sit there and roll the dice, it can completely change how it works out. And
What are you doing over there?
Hang on. I'm gonna do the classic nerd thing. Oh, let me just pick the. No. Just.
Take a skull. Take a skull.
Oh, the profane memento's ours.
You give that back over here.
I like how you put it right into the discard pile.
Yep, I sure did.
How dare you?
And now it's been forgotten.
Yeah.
My what?
Nice.
That's your actual skull, Dave.
Wow.
It's been forgotten.
So for all of us here on DAM 314, thank you to everyone who joined in. Thank you very much to the new followers and the subscribers. And thank you, Joe and Amy, as always, for collaborating with me. It's just really like, when we were playing trading card games in a tent in the woods many years ago.
Right.
These kind of things you look forward to playing with your friends in the future. And this is definitely a game we're going to be, I know I'm going to be, when we're doing our game nights, and being like, oh, what are we going to play? And I'm going to be like, hey.
Yep. Yeah, and trying out the different attribute decks in person should be really awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So
yeah, this is even a game that I'm excited to play in person a lot. As opposed to some of the other stuff that we've done, where I'm just kind of like, meh.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the rest of us have played that game so much to death that it convolutes, and it's like, yeah, I really want to play. 10 minutes later, I don't want to play with either of you anymore.
Yep, that sounds real. So
this is bonk.
So, Dave, I'm going to mute and deafen so we can close out. You can close out. Good night to everybody in DAM 314 chat out there.
Yeah,
Guarded Cult and otherwise. We will talk to you all very soon, and then for us, we will close out very briefly. Dave, we'll talk to you once we're both out.
Yeah, some behind the scenes for you.
Yeah. All right. So for everybody here at youtube.com/geekforall, thank you all so very much for hanging out. Whether you were also in Dave's chat, whether you were just here, this was a super lot of fun. That's a terrible way of putting that.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
This was a blast. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you all for chatting, for talking. If you are watching this in the VOD,
for helping.
Yes. If you're watching this on the VOD, please do not hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments. As always, that is genuinely what we love to hear all the time. So, that is going to be the end of this particular stream here for Varia. We hope to be able to do more of these. This will very unlikely will this be the last that we do of playing Varia on this channel.
Right.
Either in like actual paper cards or online in some capacity. So if it is something that you enjoy, do not hesitate to ask us about it in the future. We will see when we are available, when Dave's available. If we're trying to do it in person, we're of course going to wait until it is safe to do so. Although it is possible that Amy and I could try doing it here in the apartment.
Sure.
But we'll have to see how our setup works for that.
Yeah.
It might not be the best, so we're
going to need some time to get that sorted.
Yeah.
So we'll see anytime you want to leave any comments on any videos saying what you want to see more of, or just saying what you would have done in certain situations, we want to know.
Yeah. And if you check the description of this video, again, whether you are watching live or whether you are watching the VOD, the description has any and all links that you might need. It has the links to Video Games for All, to Gluten Free for All. It has the links for this particular stream to the Kickstarter, I believe I put on there. I will have to double check. But I believe I put the Kickstarter link on there. I know I put Dave's Twitch link. I know I put a Varia link. I just don't remember exactly which one. I believe it was the Kickstarter. So you can definitely check them out. Shout outs and huge thanks to Varia for giving us the decks in the past.
Yes.
And then reminding us that this was an option for us to play today. It was super fun. And we, again, hope that we are able to do this again in the future, because this game seems like a blast. We hope that everybody else enjoyed all of their time here with us today.
And to Ant, the creator who has helped us do all of this, thank you so much.
Yeah.
As well as, I hope we did the rules justice at any given point.
Totally fair.
You know, please let us know if we didn't, because we want to learn more about this game.
That is right.
We want to keep playing.
Right. And so outside of Varia content, don't forget we will be back on Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. as well, Eastern time, always, for our streams and our videos in general, if we're mentioning times. We are here on the East Coast of the United States. So 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern time here on...
That was cool.
Yeah, it like moved a little. I got freaked out a bit. Sorry. So yes, 8 to 10 p.m. here on Monday, where we will play a different card game, MTG Arena, right here on this channel. Otherwise, like I said, we have multiple videos coming out throughout the week. But for now, from us here at this Geek for All family of channels, I have been Joe.
And I'm Amy.
Thank you all sincerely so very much for hanging out in whatever capacity you did. And as we always say, in whichever video or stream of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.